Hello everyone, this is Anja today from nature. Maybe you hear and see the well. I'm broadcasting from a forest near the Bodensee area to answer a question from a friend of us. It's about soul travel technique. And it took me a while to do a video on that, because a question that is asked from the soul, about the soul, from my perspective also needs to be answered from the soul and not from the mind. And maybe some of you have already noticed that at the moment I'm organizing 2 big events for next year. I'm about to publish Omnec's books again in German. I just came back from America. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, plus daily communication and orders and everything. So there's a lot of organizational stuff at the moment going on. And so stepping into soul to go deeper into this energy and to give a reply or a response to the best of my ability is an extra focus. And since I love being outside, especially when the weather is so nice, you know, it's not hot, but it's a little cloudy. And here's just a beautiful little spot of nature. So I want to give this now, and there are bugs, mosquitoes, no. All right, I will share with you Irina's question. Irina is actually from the Ukraine. She's living in Ireland, and we had a private session a few months ago. I think it was in February 27th, and I'm going to link this here in case you want to watch it and listen to it. She's a real spiritual seeker, and when you hear her question, you will know what I mean. You know, the question is really humbly posed and very honest and very sincere, so I could not just reply with a yes, with a no, or with a this and that from the mind. So it was just working, you know, rolling around in my mind and in my soul and in my whole energy system now since 4 weeks. And now I got the impulse and the feeling that I can now do my best to give a response. It's about, so the question is basically, can Omnec Onec write me a manual explaining how to travel in the soul body? And the longer version of the question is as follows. I'm experimenting now with my selfie stick. And I have a microphone. Yes. Irina to Anja per telegram, July 8th, 2023. Hello Anja, how is Omnec Onec? I saw her photo in your Telegram group. How does she feel? Well, she's fine. She is preparing herself to come to Germany next year again, which is exciting, and I will share more about that soon. But going on with the question. It is very interesting for me to communicate with a woman who came to our planet with the goal of helping our transformation. Yes, that's why Omnec came, among others, and that's why I'm here also, among others. I really want to learn the out-of-body practices of traveling in the body of the soul. She already told me that beforehand, and I already told her that I personally cannot teach her that. So now she came back again with the same kind of question with a different approach, which is cute, and now I'm able to give at least a response to that. Can Omnec Onec write me a manual explaining how to travel in the soul body? Well, actually she already did write a manual, but I will try to explain that in a moment. Stay with me. I do not insist and respect her personal boundaries and her decision and understand her state of health. That's very, very kind of you, Irina. And yes, she's really not really writing anymore, and she already gave the information. So now we have to look a little bit deeper into the information that she already shared in her books and in her teachings. So the information, the answer is already there. And me now as the as the bridge, as a different way of sharing Omnec's information, I will try to explain it now in a moment, the answer. If the answer is yes, what is the price? Well, honey, it's not about money. If the answer is no, then I will accept her decision with respect. So the answer is neither yes or no. Okay, she cannot write a manual now anymore. That's really a no, but that no doesn't mean that we can't answer this question about soul travel and about how to learn soul travel and what traveling in the soul body actually means according to Omnec's teachings. I have to really be clear about that, because it is a term that's also used from other groups and other teachers, and you can approach this subject from different perspectives. First of all, you really have to understand what soul is and what is meant by that. So it's a spiritual path connected with that. It's not a mind path. It's not just about understanding, it's about experiencing something. So can you ask Omnec about it? I know that the answer is she can't write a manual, she already did. But if we have a chance, maybe next year, we could maybe ask her again. But as I said, I will give the answer to the best of my ability, according to my knowledge. And okay. So now what happened is, I'm worried about the mosquitoes here. A Facebook friend of mine just shared a quote from Eckankar. And for those of you who don't know what or who Eckankar is, well, what Eckankar is. Eckankar is a spiritual organization, a worldwide spiritual organization. And they have a spiritual leader. They always have one spiritual living master. And the first living master was Paul Twitchell. And Paul Twitchell was connected to Omnec. The story is a bigger story behind it. I can share that in a different video, but for now, it's to give just a short idea about Eckankar and the connection with Omnec. The source, the spiritual source of information is the same. The origin is the same. However, on the earth, this true original teaching was brought forth through different people and different channels. And Omnec has been one of them. However, she never founded a group. She never wanted to be part of an organization. She never was a member of Eckankar either. She was only connected with the founder of Eckankar, the Paul Twitchell. Paul Twitchell, yes. That was in the late 60s, early 70s. So it's a while ago. And yes, and Paul Twitchell founded Eckankar, and Eckankar then, he died in 71, I believe. It's really a long time ago already. And then there were other leaders, and now since, I don't know, 20, 30 years, there's Harold Klemp. And so Harold Klemp wrote many, many books, also about soul travel and spiritual teachings and all this, you know. And I just stumbled over a quote on Facebook, shared by one of my Facebook friends. And the quote is, soul travel just means getting in touch with your higher nature, which is soul. Soul travel means moving from the human state of consciousness to the soul state of consciousness. Harold Klemp from the book Truth Has No Secrets. That's true. Truth has no secrets. And actually, truth is available to everybody. One just has to be open and ask the right questions. And then truth can be revealed. So, hear it again. It's really important. This quote is really bringing it to the essence, you know. Soul travel just means getting in touch with your higher nature. And soul travel means moving from the human state of consciousness to the soul state of consciousness. Let that sink in for a moment. And now, I try to answer this question. The answer is, it's a matter of shifting. Traveling as a soul is a shift of frequency and a shift of consciousness. And that's why Omnec created this meditation CD, for example, many years ago. With her music producer, it was really part of her mission to create this beautiful CD to allow people to make an experience. And so this soul journey, it's also soul journey meditation, spiritual, it's a meditation, a guided meditation called Soul Journey. And so what you're doing there is you're focusing your attention on different levels of consciousness. And the soul travel journey is going from the physical to the astral, to the causal, to the mental, to the etheric, then the soul dimension, and then the God's dimension, the divine dimension. Every dimension only differs from the other by its frequency, by its vibration. And the vibrational rate is getting faster and faster the closer you move your consciousness towards unity consciousness. Because the divine, or the God source, the way Omnec always explains it, is just pure energy, the pure source of energy. It's like the center of a tornado, maybe, or when you visualize a centrifuge. She always gave this image, this you know, for visualization. When you think of a centrifuge, a machine that's spinning at a very, very high rate, and you put in sand, water, and stones, or rocks, you will find that the heavier material, so the rocks or the stones, will position themselves at the outer edge of the centrifuge. And then there will be the less denser material, which is the sand. And then there will be the less denser material, which will be the water. And the closer you go with your mind to the center, the less material there is. So in the center of the centrifuge, there is just pure energy. And this is where God is. This is where the source of creation is. This is how we travel, soul travel, to God consciousness, by shifting the awareness through the other levels of dimension, through the levels of polarity and of density, to this center of creation, where just pure isness is. There is just pure being, pure existence. It's a 0-point field. I mean, there are so many words now, but of course, you know, words come from the mind. We can only transport these teachings by our energy, by the energy. And I would say that Omnec is a very, very clear and pure teacher. And I'm doing my best to bring it across a little bit so that you maybe feel inspired to go again and read her books and listen to her teachings and practice the Soul Journey CD and practice meditation. Because by doing that and by focusing your attention on this path, the truth and the realization will reveal itself to you. And you know, the thing is, we just have to cross the bridge. We just have to break through our own mental blocks, kind of, because in the end, it's very easy. However, I must say, when the question is asked about out-of-body experiences and astral travel, I cannot really answer these questions. I know there are also other teachers and other techniques maybe that you will focus on. I must admit, I never practiced that. All that I know is Omnec's teaching and the way she explains what soul travel is. And I can only say from my personal experience that the energy shifts and changes depending on where my attention and my focus goes. And she always said, the attention goes, I mean, the energy follows the attention, right? So where your attention goes, the energy flows. And that's why the soul travel technique, according to Omnec's teachings, is actually a matter of focus. It's a matter of practicing concentration, because you learn how to focus on your third eye area, visualizing, for example, a color. You focus on a specific mantra, like, for example, the Kala for the astral dimension, and the Mana for the mental dimension, and the Om for the causal dimension. And you visualize a color that goes with it. And you know, as long as people argue over, well, no, this is the wrong order of the dimensions and this is the wrong color, it has to be that color, or this mantra is wrong, that mantra is right, they don't get it, you know, because we are just using these tools, the visualization tools, the mantras and the colors and the sounds and everything, to really focus the attention to move with our consciousness and with the attention through these levels of consciousness until we make an experience. And this is the whole thing. It's all about experience. It's about experiencing the upliftment of the consciousness and eventually the experience of being soul. And this is what it's all about. It's about soul realization, God realization, or self-realization. It's about really, really knowing that you're not the body and not the mind and not your emotions and not your past and not your maybe future. Your soul. And soul is just what it is. It's just pure energy. It's a being of light. It's love. Because it is the pure spark of God. It came from the source of creation, because God, as the center of creation, creates the souls. The souls originate from the divine. So every soul is always connected to the divine, and it's part of the divine. And it travels through the lower dimensions, through the levels of consciousness, until it realizes again what it is and where it comes from, and then it can turn around and start traveling back with all these experiences that it has made as every life form, as a mineral, as a plant, as an animal, as a human being or as any other life form, embodied or not embodied, on the earth or on another planet, in another dimension. It's all experience. And this is valuable for the soul. And this is the whole thing. Shifting your consciousness and realizing that you are soul is what expands the consciousness, because it includes everything. There is no judgment anymore. There is no separation consciousness anymore. There is no he's wrong, he's right, she's wrong, I'm right, he's ugly, he's a Democrat, there is a black woman and there is somebody's sexuality. You know, it all doesn't matter anymore, or the way somebody behaves, or the way somebody, whatever, you know, you just accept everything and everybody the way they are, because you realize this is just a soul making an experience. It's not what they are. So to wrap this up, you know, the whole thing is really about making an experience. And the soul travel technique, the way Omnec teaches it, provides you with an opportunity. It gives you something, it gives you tools in your hand to shift your consciousness and to make experiences. That's basically all. Well, I hope that this answer helps, not only Irina, but maybe everybody else who is interested in soul travel and in understanding how easy it can be eventually actually understood. And then it's just about doing it. It's just about doing the meditation. It's just about focusing the mind and the attention on these ideas, kind of, or on these levels of consciousness. Well, that's it for today. Sending you love. And now I want to share with you again for a few seconds here the fountain, or the well. Is it a well? I think it's a well, right? See you next time. Bye-bye.
Love is all, and all is love.